Now this is why you do trail running. Look at the three sisters, look how beautiful they are. The glamours of ultra running. It is 4:45 a.m. Saturday morning. I have just ticked over 14 kilometers with about 800 meters of vertical gain and vertical loss. Guys, welcome to another Morris Method YouTube video log. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that button right now for me. Give me a bit of love, give me a bit of help in getting this message out there, where to live a life where you feel healthy constantly, where you feel fit constantly, and you get to experience some bloody amazing experiences. All right, let's hook into it. Good morning. How about a place to start your day on a Saturday morning? So I'm out here with Meg, out here with a client that I've never met before. Her name is Kathy. Kathy is training for a ultra marathon, 75 kilometers, June, July this year. So for my training block at the moment, I actually have this week and then one more week where I'm overreaching. So the legs today are just slightly a little bit fatigued. They're not sore. Definitely didn't feel fatigued before I kind of headed out of here. Remember, the training itself is the stress. The training itself is where you're applying the stimulus, and then when you rest, that's your chance to actually get the adaptation that you're actually after. Not only do you need to rest in between your workouts to make sure that you can start your next workout ready to go, but you also have to have kind of active rest weeks to take larger blocks of rest to cater for the excessive overreaching weeks that we do. Pretty hard to feel pretty shitty when you're in a place like this, that's for sure. So hoping you all enjoyed that last video that I put together to give you a little bit of description about Jonathan and his goals and his background. If you haven't watched that video, just click on the link here. Now we're going to dive into another client, Meg. I want to give a bit of background, a bit of understanding around Meg's history and how we started working together, to then obviously head out for that run on the Saturday, which you guys have already started to see already. You know, to see her be able to do these things, not just in a lead up to an event, but on a regular basis. Her and I go quite a fair bit back. So I used to work for a very long period of time at Carlingford Fitness First in Sydney. I was a long-term instructor there, worked for the company as well as doing some personal training there for a very, very long period of time. I knew Meg, Meg knew I. Meg used to come to my spin classes. Meg was a regular gym goer, right? So what I mean by a regular gym goer is that Monday to Friday, she would typically be there for the 6 a.m. classes. She'd do a spin class, a basic training class. Now, basic training just stands for like a 60-minute HIIT class, basically. Like, work as hard as you can. No real kind of focuses or specifics about that type of session. It was just to get a sweat up and basically burn calories. Myself and another client, Sue Moore, had decided to attempt to do the Oxfam. It was about 3 and a bit years ago. At this stage, I was already going through my transition, right? So getting away from the standard Australian diet, getting away from just calories in versus calories out, getting away from HIIT training, high intensity training, or at least regular bouts of it. I'm really focusing on how performance needs to be periodized and what those sort of periods really look like. So as Sue was already a client, we decided we were going to do the Oxfam 100-kilometer trail walker. So at the time, Meg, I wasn't actually training. 6 months out of Oxfam, we all started training. Now, I was still training Sue as a client. However, Meg wasn't a client at this period of time. So after we did a whole bunch of training, in the lead up to Oxfam, we did the Oxfam, we ticked that goal. So like I said, I didn't train Meg up for the first Oxfam that we did. I was only training Sue at that time. I could see Meg's type of training: go as hard as you can, go as often as you can. Nutrition wasn't really on point. She didn't get to fully enjoy the first experience of Oxfam. And to be honest, I'm considering how hard the Oxfam is, particularly if you train wrong or you're in the wrong state of physique. these sort of things aren't really that enjoyable. After Oxfam, with my own experience, I kind of finally realized what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. It was kind of a bit of a pivotal moment for me doing this Oxfam in 2017 or 2018. It was that pivotal moment where I knew what I needed to do with my training, I knew what I needed to do with my diet, and I really wanted to share it. I was already starting to share it with some of my clients, and I had a bit of a point to prove with Meg. So after the Oxfam, I actually hit Meg up myself and said, hey, do you want to come in for a training session and see if we can dial things in a little bit? So I would have to say that Meg was one of my first clients that didn't have the transition from old Nathan to new Nathan. And what I'm referring to is just old school Nathan was hardcore, was no pain, no gain, the commando style trainer, and the new Nathan is your lifestyle means more than anything else. The 60-minute training session that you do per day means absolutely nothing if your recovery rates and your rest and recovery is not indicative of to support that performance, meaning diet, sleep, hydration, all those sorts of things. So I had a bit of a point to prove with Meg, because I could start with Meg from fresh. I could utilize her as a, to be honest, Meg, I could utilize you as a bit of a guinea pig. So Meg didn't get necessarily the let's go hard, give me everything that you've got, you know, me just standing over them doing a one-on-one personal training session, kind of forcing them to work. I first time actually got the experience to coach Meg. Again, Meg was someone who already was training, right? Wasn't significantly overweight. If you walk past Meg down the streets at her old body composition, you probably would have just said, you know, she looks relatively healthy. Like, look, we've probably normalized people being overweight to a degree these days because unfortunately, because so many of the population are overweight. Don't think about Meg as being something significantly overweight. However, to do Oxfam, to have good performance, your body composition really matters. And that wasn't really one of Meg's goals. One of Meg's goals was actually just to perform better and train better. So we started on the training, and then as we had our one-on-one sessions and our coaching sessions, is that I was slowly bleeding in, you know, what was your recovery like? What did you eat? How's your sleep going? What's your days look like throughout the week? To really try and poke and prod Meg, to get her to understand that it's not just the training that really matters. It's not just the 50 minutes, the 60-minute one-on-one PT session, or the aerobic session, or the, you know, effort session that you do that really increases your performance. It's what you do on the other side of the equation. Because if you think about it as a percentage, like what, a 60-minute workout is about 4% of your day. Maybe you'll get 7 sessions out of the week. It's such a small amount of time, particularly if you don't have good recovery strategies, or particularly if your lifestyle is not balancing with your training goals. Your training doesn't start and stop with a training session. Your training is 24 hours a day. Everything that you do will have a result on what your performance is. And Meg really started to take note of some of the things that I was saying about nutrition. And now Meg didn't want to track her food. There's a few different types of people that some people like to track their food and log their food, which means that gives me a visual as to what they're eating. And you know what? Some people just don't really like doing it, and or can have, you know, some sort of emotional attachment to it as well. So it's actually recommended that that type of person doesn't log their food. All we did was just tweak it week to week as time progressed, and I would give Meg just little snippets. Hey, why don't you try this instead of this? What actually happened is that Meg become a highly efficient fat burner. For Meg to become a highly efficient fat burner, basically she got rid of the junk food. She didn't train so hard, so she wasn't causing too much stress, so the cravings weren't there. And Meg basically adjusted her whole lifestyle. Her body composition changed so organically. It was actually absolutely amazing to watch, particularly because this was my first kind of guinea pig. To watch her go over her journey where now she eats fresh, healthy food, and that allows her to sustain her energy throughout the day. She does a lot of fasting, but really, if I had to say Meg, what sort of diet Meg was on, I mean, you can ask Meg if you want to, but she's basically on the no junk food diet, right? You get at least that far, a lot of the other processes, or at least the body's going to start working correctly for you. So Meg ended up dropping, I'm fairly sure, from about 72, 73 kilos down to like 56 over that period of time. Like, it's absolutely sensational. From the first time that we did Oxfam to the second time that Meg did Oxfam, worlds apart, right? Not only are we talking about 12 plus kilos of weight off the body, but just her capabilities because of the style of training that she was doing. She wasn't flogging herself. She was listening to the body. We had numerous sessions where Meg would rock up and she'd be tired, or she'd be still sore from the previous workouts, and I would send her home, because there's no point training if you were sore or you were tired. And a few clients have learned that lesson along the way. Adaptation. You've got to be in a position to adapt. Now, Ultra Trail Australia 2021, that's what Meg's goal is next. Now, Meg was going to do it in 2020, but obviously with COVID got pushed back to October, then October got cancelled, so we are lining her up for 2021 Ultra Trail Australia, 100 kilometers. Now, Meg is doing this not to try and prove some point about how physically capable or how physically fit that she is. She's doing it so that she can have an experience, so that she can live a lifestyle where she's outdoors. She gets to do this stuff for fun. If you're unfit, if you're even just slightly overweight, this stuff isn't fun. Like, this is not fun. Experience this sort of stuff if you're carrying excess body weight, if you feel like crap while you do it, if you're drinking too much and you can't even get up the next day. This stuff ain't fun when you're going through those sorts of things. That's what's really driven Meg, is not necessarily like, okay, my performance is here and now I definitely wanted to get it, even further. It's about the experience, about experiencing something outdoors that she couldn't dream of doing. And she's not training any more than she used to. Again, comes down to the quality of the training and the quality of your rest and recovery, which allows you to experience these things without a whole bunch of effort. The body will adapt if you treat it right. And that's what Meg's experienced. And this is why I'll never, ever be able to stop talking about this, is that I was doing the wrong things for so long. Meg was doing the wrong things for so long. Jonathan was doing the wrong things for so long. And I have a bucket loads of clients who have experienced similar things where they've already been training and the wheels just they're just spinning. You're not really grasping any real traction moving forward. And that's what the Morris Method's all about. It's how can you make the time that you have, which is probably pretty small, really allow it to grow and progress your fitness than just break you down or keep you on this yo-yo cycle of gain fitness and then lose motivation. Gain fitness, lose motivation, or keep training and not seeing any weight loss. Like, if you train regularly and you're not sitting at the body composition that you either desire or should be at, there's something wrong with what you're doing, and it takes a little bit of guts to try and figure out what that is. And that's what I'm here for. And this is why I create these videos, so that you guys can have an opportunity to hit me up with a conversation to say, Nathan, everything that you're talking about, I'm resonating with it. What do I need to do? I'm already training. I'm already trying to eat healthy, but I still can't either lose the last 5 or 7 or even 10 kilos. And I find that every time I get into training, I either get injured or I get burnout. That shouldn't be the case. So if you are experiencing that, don't stand for it anymore. Put a stop to it. Reach out and let's have a conversation. So Meg, just wanted to say a massive thank you from me for being my guinea pig and running through with all my crazy ideas. Look at it now, it's absolutely crazy. I wouldn't even expect that what I'm doing right now is, I would classify this as work now compared to what I was doing beforehand. And to be thinking that we have the opportunity to help people like you is something that I'm forever grateful. So May 2021 is not only a massive goal for you, but for me to see you tick off this goal in 2021 has been something that I've wanted for you for quite a long while now. And we're going to get to that point on May where you're going to head out, you're going to have an opportunity to experience something worth remembering, and living a lifestyle so that you can do it is inspiring to watch.